How's it going, everybody? So, we got a track here that I wanted to share. Basically, I got the musical elements all kind of worked out. Now it's just left for arrangement. Can definitely be plotted out a little longer, but using the elements I already have can come together to make a complete song, musically or instrumental wise. Now it does have a moderate tempo. It could potentially be considered upbeat depending on how the lyrics go and how everything's arranged vocally with harmonies and whatnot. Could work for maybe vocalists who could sing or a rapper. That's just how I'm imagining it. Now I know I worked with Jay the producer, and he definitely works with artists and gets lyrics and vocals kind of down. So he would probably have more of a good direction on that. But musically, I kind of wanted to go in my style, using more natural elements like that you would use in orchestration, but put to a nice little beat here. Makes things interesting. So it's definitely different, but I think it's something that could work. So what I have going on at the moment is the guitar. So that's the last thing I'm going to add here, and I'm going to call the musical composition complete. I just wanted to share that piece with you. I'll actually record that here while I'm doing the film. I already got one piece laid down just so I didn't forget what I was doing there. But basically, just to explain the guitar. So the guitar is going to be distorted using the trusty Expand 2 stock with Pro Tools 12. All Pro Tools. So just a Les Paul lead, a stock, and going down here, I have two aux effects using, again, stock guitar rig that comes with Pro Tools. Got like a distortion going on here, and then a wah just to make it a little bit more interesting, and a standard amp and cabinet. And the other, and one more thing here, these are panned, so they're panned. One bias to the right and the other bias to the left. But what makes them different is these effects that I'm using here. So on this one I have the same kind of cry, wah like sound, and I use a different type of filter. I would say it's kind of, I guess, chorusy. But it works. It makes enough difference to where when I have these panned, it gives difference, in the sonic perspective. You can hear the difference there. Opens it up, makes it sound wide. I do have all three of those, the dry guitar using Expand, and both effects, aux effects, going to one mix. And then I'll volume adjust that to where it's going to sound distant, but you will hear it because they are pushed left and right, kind of leaving the center open. And also in the other portions of the mix, I allowed for that space to be heard. So a lot of the elements are, besides the musical elements here, I left those 100%. I haven't really gave those a serious pan. But the other elements, the percussion and whatnot, they're not 100% left and right. They are about at 80, 85 or less. So they're not 100%. And on these guitars here, going back to them, they're not 100% either, but when they're panned all the way left and right, that still allows them to be heard. And with these being 100% left and right, they're also heard, as they are now, they're heard pretty good. So, a little bit more mixing that need to be done. I did go through and give a rough audio or level mix or balance. So everything's kind of leveled already. So just want to go ahead and put this guitar line down. And that's going to be kind of accent the track and add a different mood, if you want to call it that. It's gonna just basically take how it sounds now and add another dimension that would, I would say, spark some more creativity when it comes to writing the lyrics to it. They may go more mysterious, I'm not sure how someone would do this, but lyrically that is. But adding that guitar here is gonna allow some more creative sparks to hopefully come out, whoever wants to write to it. So I'll just play a little bit here, starting from half of the intro. Now the structure is a little different, but I think it's still somewhat standard. So basically it's one that's gonna start out with a verse, go into a hook, and this would maybe be considered a bridge or second verse. And then this would be the hook again, but with a different guitar line. So it'll be different in the hooks. I like to do that just to keep things interesting as well. So here we go. I'm gonna record basically up until here. It's gonna be one guitar piece, but it is gonna change. I like to play things through all the way. It helps it sound more natural, and I don't think there will be any parts that I could loop. So it'll be totally original. There's no looping of this guitar piece. I did loop other sections. You'll hear this going back up here to more of the orchestral elements. The violin pizzicato, you'll hear that. It's different through, and the pattern is enough to where it can be looped and not sound so redundant, but or the same way all the way through. But that's something that's a little different. So I played it all the way through on that as well, but then I just took that segment and looped it all the way through. So yeah, here we go. If I mess up, that's okay. I'll just start over. Alrighty. That's it. I did mess up a little bit here. I was supposed to hold one of the notes a little longer, but overall everything else was okay. So I'll just go in and do a quick quantize with the guitar. I don't mind if that's totally snapped to the grid. Let's find it here. Here we are. So nice long hold there, going to like a little pitch bend. And I was using aftertouch. I'm not sure if you can hear the guitar coming through the iPhone there, and the speaker that's real close to it, but it was kind of in the mix. It's not meant to stand out and be in front, but on the aftertouch, just basically pressing it down. And that Les Paul on the effects 2 naturally goes into like a little harmonic or feedback like sound where it's kind of screaming a little bit. I like that on the end. So I use that one. I prefer that one. So looking at the grid, it's real close. But this note here, I believe, should have been held longer. Let me play it. Yeah, so right here, this was supposed to be just held a little bit longer. All right, so everything else looks pretty on, and I used to quantize everything at once, but now I like to nudge. So nudging allows you to get more of that natural feel as well, without making it too perfect, because you do want to have that humanistic kind of sound where everything is still sounding natural. So I don't know how she would explain that. So let's see here. Actually, here, right here, there was supposed to be another note, so I'll just goes into another up bend, like the guy pushing the string on the guitar. That's kind of what the aftertouch does. Still got modulator on. That's kind of the process there. So the guitar gave that element that I wanted, that little mystique there, or mystery, or however you want to call it. But then it goes into another guitar patch there, or melody there that I came up with. But ultimately, this is basically a finished song. Just gotta get the arrangement down, and that'll be it. Thanks for watching.